Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, man. So, what's the difference? What's the difference between like playing for, let's just say, like the national team, international competition versus like G League in regards to like the style of play?
This is a lot more physical. You're allowed to be more physical. They don't call a lot of fouls. Pretty much anything goes if your hands is up. So like the game's more physical. So your conditioning needs to be up because people are bumping you, hitting you the whole game. And it's 22 games, so you know people are giving it all for these 2 games. So the intensity is like crazy. I remember we played Puerto Rico our first game, and they just came out with like, you would have thought this was like the NBA Finals Game 7, like 2 minutes left in the game. They came out and you could tell they were like very excited to play against us. And so it's very intense. It's very intense. And you just have to weather the storm. Like it's going to be tough for like the first 2 quarters, and then the second half you have to kind of just. That's when like the winning basketball comes into play. That's when like sets and who's getting 50-50 balls, all those things come into play.
Okay. So what about like the rule adjustments? Like, you know, like I know a lot of cats that go overseas get called for the travels and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's one. I think the 3 seconds, the defensive 3 seconds is a big one. The floor just isn't as big, and me being a shot blocker, I get to just sitting there all day, so just make things a little easier for our guards and wings. Less possessions. It's not, people aren't just coming down and pulling up. You know, people are running sets. You have to guard the whole shot clock. And then back to just the physicality thing, like offensive rebound. Like I said, you don't get as many possessions, so you know, one offensive rebound makes a huge difference. You know, in a game like this where you might get 77 possessions, or rather, like I think NBA is like 125 average. So possessions matter, physicality matters, and just who wants it more. Honestly, that's what it is. To me, that's what it's all about. It's just a dog fight. That's why I'm excited to be back. When I was here in February, it was so competitive. Like you just felt it like, from the time the first game started. The competitive, it didn't leave until our last game was over. It just stayed with us. So that's why I'm excited just to compete.
Right. So how does it feel like being able to play for Team USA? You know what I mean? A lot of guys never get that opportunity.
Yeah.
So how does that feel?
It's dope, especially for me. Like I was one of those guys who didn't get to play in high school. I wasn't considered like top, whatever that means in high school, top 15, whatever the people they take. So that was something I never got to do. So you know, I'm proud to wear the USA basketball on the chest. I know how much that means. You know, just walk around with the USA basketball shirt on after leaving this. Like I know that holds weight, so I'm just excited to represent them properly.
Okay. And to talk about like the G League now, man. Like, how have you seen? Let's just say since you started like your professional career, how have you seen the G League grow like over the years?
Obviously, with the Ignite team, them having the kids who come straight out of high school, that's huge. They can get paid, start their pro career a little earlier, and then just the expansion of teams or continue. I think when I came in, it was like 2016. Teams had a G League team. Now I think everybody but like one. I think it's like the Blazers, the only one who doesn't have it. So just continue to grow. They're putting more money into it. They're making it a thing. I still think it should be a lot better than what it is. For it to be the NBA's second, or NBA's minor league. Like, this should be the second best league in the world to me. And I think that just comes with. I think if they paid players a little bit more, people would stay home rather than going overseas. I think it's a lot of work to still be done, but it's still continuing to grow. I think it's going in the right direction.
Right. And so what differences do you see like from, or what do you think like the G League should improve to become a better league, other than like, hey, what are some things?
I think there's a few things, like depending on what team you're on. I know like housing is different. Like some people stay in hotels, some actually get apartments. Flying, that's a hassle. Like with the two, what is it called? The two, you have like two stops to go to one place. Like, layovers be crazy. Like you leave at like 8 a.m. to go to Texas and get there at like 7 p.m. Like it should never be like, so I think things like that. Like I said, they're getting better at it. They're working on, especially like sponsorships, stuff like that. And then some of these teams just are in small towns where you have to have a layover. So, but I think, like I said, I think they're getting better. But it is a grind. It's a grind, man. Like, you got to really want it. Really, the whole season done with grinding. So you don't get paid much. Flying, like I said, you're not accommodated flying. The living is like, but it's definitely going up in the right direction though.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then my last question is, so can you talk about that the culture at Golden State, man? How they, from your point of view, from your perspective, how they've been able to like maintain success through it all? And then like you see like the Jordan Pooles and Toscano and all these other guys, how are they able to develop in that system?
To me, that's just the culture over there. The culture is winning. It's also about family, They're one of the few teams that I know that involve, teams that I've been on that involve like your family, make sure your family's taken care of. So, your family's being taken care of, that takes a huge stress off yourself. You get to focus more so on the game than like worrying about like all the other stuff. But the culture over there is just different. It's about winning, it's about fun. They only have good people over there. There's no assholes over there. And then it starts with like Steph, Draymond, Clay. Like they set the tone from just being great guys. Being great professional basketball players on and off the court, and just what they got though, I don't think it could be taught though, like they got a system of shooting. Everybody tried to copy it the last few years. I think everybody's realized like we don't have them, so you can't copy something if you don't have the pieces to do it. It's just dope over there. And like I said, with those guys around you, Steph, Clay, Draymond, Andre. it's easy to see why guys like Jordan and Juan and other Jerry Payton, like all the people are doing so well over there. They have great leaders over there, great examples. So it's nothing but good things over there.
Man, I appreciate it, man.